Hello, welcome. Just switching over the audio device so you'd be able to hear the game were it to make any expected or unexpected sounds. And yes, Milton Valley. Hi Slovak Eagle, hello. Hello Kangafango. Hey, hello Mr. W. This is for Paradise. I probably won't watch the stream today as I'm tired and feeling a bit meh. See y'all tomorrow. Yes, see you tomorrow. Bye. Thanks for showing up at all. Alright. See you tomorrow. Good night. Hello. Stream title. Milton and the Valley, Railroad. Colon as in the 2 dots. So not written out, but 2 dots. Wait. I missed it? You missed what? Don't think you missed anything. I just started. Nat. Oh, you mean the stream? No. I'm just starting the stream. Hey. Nah, just starting. He was saying bye to Mr. W. Oh, he's not attending today. Attending as though this is some sort of ceremony. Okay, so that should all be okay. So here we go. The goodbyes confused me. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I get that. Oh, hello, 587 the Bug Brain. Hello, welcome. Here's the lad. Do you mean yourself or do you mean me? Probably mean yourself. Hey Kango. You're a nicely unreadable shade of blue. For me, at least. Right, so this is where we last left off. We'd started... well, no. We'd started to finish this bit of this line. So that's going over through the tunnel along here. It's not completely finished yet. For example, it's missing a name plaque. Is it plaque? I think it's plaque. Also, maybe a few little things here and there that needed finishing. Some little touches of stuff. But overall, looks good. None of the foliage seems to be floating, which is good considering I'm using dig holes. So yeah, should be able to get some good progress done. For me, he's a slightly orangey red. Plaque, yeah. Oh yeah, Kango, have you seen the thing I made? Or plate? Which? Good question. Okay. Wrong turn, getting the height instead of the actual thing. I want to get the Ballastplan, which is actually the X-Beton-Decke 1 Meter Mitte, which, just so to kind of fill in some of those little gaps here, because if you look over here, you can just about see through there, which I don't want. So let's see, just try to do something like this. Actually, yeah, I suppose I should probably do it like this, and then move it back a bit. Back a bit? I've never heard of him. Anyway. So like that. Yeah, that's better. You can't see through there now. Right, so... the 3D modeling thing that I did in Paradise server. XD Paradise. Oh, in Blender? The Steam Loco? Right, the next thing to do, I think, probably be to make the little road and area up here where this mast is. Radio tower. So I'll put the radio tower on the temp locked layer so that I can't accidentally delete it by deleting the trees around here. But yes, that is a trick. that it has taken me quite a while, but by quite a while I mean quite a few years of using Trainz to figure out. However, for the majority of that time, either layers didn't exist or I never used them. I remember when I first used layers, well, when layers first got introduced, I was already only using edit session to build my route because I wanted to place trains and then test drive those trains, build another bit, test drive more trains, and it wouldn't let me place trains on the route. So I said, okay, well, if I can't place trains there, there's really no point of using the route, and so I'm of editing the route, so I was only ever editing the layer. So then when the session, I mean. So then when layers got added, I still edited the session, but then whenever I loaded the route, all of the objects I'd placed vanished, which now, of course, I know is because I placed them on the session, so I placed them on the session layer, which means when I loaded the route, they obviously weren't there. But back then I didn't know that. I had no idea how layers worked. So, yeah. I thought that, well, those routes were just broken now, which was unfortunate, but luckily I have since figured out what lasers are and layers are. Both very important. Although one arguably more relevant than the other. So, yeah, now I know how they work and how much you can do with them. Yeah, that. Ah, yes, it looks great. I had replied to it. Yeah, that's why I'm talking about it in the past stream. That's what I'm talking about in the past stream. Alright, that's a big route. This one? Well, it's getting there. I wouldn't say, well, I would say it is well, if I look at the map, this is what it's so far. I would say that it is a large-ish map, I'd say. Because it's definitely not large yet. For example, the Coleman Mountains Railroad is much larger, but it's also larger than medium. So, yeah, and you can make so many huge routes and trains so big that this one really doesn't classify as large. However, I'd say large-ish. Unless you don't mean this route. Yep, it's getting quite sizable. I'm almost done with the SPAC9. Oh, nice. Lasers. 71%. Ah, I too am known for using quite oddly specific percentages for estimations. Ooh, nice. And now I am late. How nice. Hi. Oh, hello. Yes, welcome. What would you say how large... So, Slovak Eagle, welcome. Yeah, what would you say how large this map is so far? I would say it's large-ish. I think it's definitely larger than medium, but I wouldn't say that it's a large map so far. What do you think? Welcome in, Seville. The creepy willows blows in the wind. The creepy willow blows in the wind. Why? I mean, I know that there's wind and that's why it blows, but why is that relevant? Through the doors window. Why? I still don't understand why. Oh, you mean because the door was open because you entered. Size, distance, or industry-wise? Multiplayer-wise, or combined-wise? Well, I would hope that you used all your combined wiseties, so in terms of wisdom, but I would say distance, because industry I don't have that much yet. I've got the lumber loader, and I think also one lumber unloader, but most are grain loaded, but most of the industries aren't in place yet. Or at least not the full chain. I mean more size-wise. Which is fun to say. It was a secret keyword thing. Oh, a secret keyword thing. So you mean like a password? As I start a quote, the ones who enter end it. Ah, so the creepy willow blows in the wind. And that's how it beginned? Beginned? I don't know. I would say medium. And all, in all combined wise, all. Yeah. For me, I'd say it is a for me, I'd say it's a large-ish map. But then again, looking at Central Europe, it's tiny. Beginned, yeah. But yeah, I can see medium. It's probably because I'm already picturing... the thing is, I'm already picturing how this line, for example, down here continues over there. And how this line continues up there, and over there, and over there. So maybe that's impacting it. Anyway, how are you, all of you? Now, if you're watching this archived, you don't have to write it in the comments. You really don't. I mean, if you do, then of course I'll read it, I'll enjoy, but no, that is not required. That is really not required of you. Because I know that if you're watching a video on YouTube, you don't really want all that stuff. The continuation is, while the bluebell's mind was kind. Why? That doesn't even rhyme. With the creepy willow blows in the wind. Distance is semi-medium. Industry-wise, tiny. Multiplayer-wise, semi-medium. Quality-wise, very large. Well, thank you very much. I'm glad that I've got large quality. Combined makes medium total. Ah. Thank you for sharing that secret formula. Okay. You see, that's the thing. The non-rhyming on behalf of the first bit is what throws them off. Well, it certainly threw me off. Sometimes even literally. Slovakial. My chair is wait, wrong script. I see. Is this a scenic route? No, it's not. Well, I think it is quite scenic, especially up here where the dam is. But no, this is a commercial railroad, freight, passenger as well. Mostly freight, I'd say. But no, it is a commercial road, whatever. I'm good, thanks. Damn, that's scenic. Yes, of course. Mwahaha. Mwahaha. Can I request something? Well, you can, but I'm not guaranteeing that the request will be fulfilled. I know I've not done the fields here yet, but I want to know what the road looks like with the ballast underneath. Well, I say ballast, with the gravel underneath, because I'm going to put the gravel up all the way to the radio tower to the antenna. And so I really want this road to already have texture underneath it. Add some fences near the tracks. Well, some parts does have fence near the tracks. Some fields, at least. So, if you look over here, you can see that, is this one? Yeah. See, this field, for example, has fence. But I don't really like, well, I do put fence next to the tracks. And with a lot of my routes. But in this case, I'm experimenting a bit. Not by not having the fence next to the tracks. But yeah, I do want it to be kind of depend on the field. So this field has one, and this field doesn't. I think it adds a bit of variety. But in some parts I could do that. For example, over where this field is, so this meadow with the cattle, there I've got a fence next to the track, as you can see. Alright, I'm back. Oh, I had no idea you were gone. The Ballad of the Bells Ballast. Ah, that one, a classic. Had to reload. Oh, I see. Was the voice sped up again? We know sometimes Twitch likes to speed up the audio but artificially so that it sounds a little bit off pitch. Right, so this goes up here, and I'll just kind of make a little spot here. I'll even twist the texture, add a little bit of a different texture up here, just so it looks a little bit better. Maybe even put a car up there. No, not that, not a caravan. Tomb. Car pickup, sure. Welcome back. Welcome bug. Brand is watching rail fanning. Sweda is building Germany. Other guys are doing random stuff. What a nice team working on Central Europe. Yes. Sounds lovely, to be honest. Yes indeed. Cows pasture? Pasture? Or cows pasture? Well, depends. Probably the second one. We have 2 new people on team. You probably never heard of Levi. He's from Austria. Modeler. Nope, I've never heard of him, fortunately. Nope, not a caravan. Tome. There we go. Oh, no, T-U-M-E, but you knew that. And also, you're a modeler. Yes, of him I've heard of. He accepted invitation. We are just waiting for him to arrive on Discord. I bet you heard of that guy. Yeah, I have. I think I might have heard of them. Right. So. Yeah, there you go. There's a nice road up there. You can see it on the map. How nice. So if interested players look up here, they can see the roads going up there. You know what? Do I have elk? No, not elk. A deer I have. Oh, come on. Not der. Deer. No, not deer. Deer. Not a reindeer. Let's just have a little bit of deer there. I think I'll get rid of the style and have these smaller ones there. I think that's better. Nice. Little bit of an Easter egg. You know what? I'm not even gonna name it, so you won't know it's there. Right, so next thing to do. The next thing to do is to extend the power line, of course. What did you expect? And let's see. How do I want this? I want it to cross over, but I also want there to be homes here because I want a station to be right around here, essentially. I want a station to be there. I don't want the power lines to get too close to the residential area. So how about I curve it, have it go off in this direction, and have a little path clear for it. Is that enough room? That looks like it's barely enough room. I think I'll need to kind of extend the embankment to this one. Just sort of like this a bit. Just that it's a bit higher up. Maybe this one as well. Yeah, but then I kind of need to fill in this bit as well. Just so that it looks okay, doesn't look bad. Sort of like that. And yeah, that's better. Still not that much room, but I think it's enough. Is Levi on the Discord? Yep, Levi is on Discord. On Discord. Right. I think I remember reading his name before. Nice news. Oh dear. Yeah. Yeah, I love how our team is expanding. Yes, it's always nice. Well, most of the time. Anyway, same. Anyway, how are you guys doing? Well, since you asked. Well, 1 is my chair is comfortable. 2, a bit tired because I had the big roleplay session today, which obviously, if you're following any of that sort of stuff that I say in streams about what I do on some days, you will know that that is on Saturdays. So that today was very nice. A lot of progression happened, and also quite a funny things. So yeah, I'm a little tired, but I'm happy about that. So, right, good. Shadows. Also, you might want to consider hiding a bear somewhere in that forest surrounding the radio tower. You want the bear surrounding the radio tower. I think you need a couple more than 1 for that. I'm doing quite good myself, thank you. Been finalizing the bench seat of my Leyland National Mark 1 OMSI 2 bus project. Nice, thanks. Have you seen the pics? They're in Leyland National Mark 1 on the DLS. LDS, not DLS, LDS. Yeah, I did, I like them. Thank you, I'm glad you like them. By the way, shout outs. Friend! Exclamation mark. NT exclamation mark. Friend NT is back on our Discord. Friend, is that the Discord username, probably? He's making American DLC too, and has released some already. If you need help with your route building or with Trainz content creator program and DLC creation, you can ask him. Just say that I am sending you. Oh, well, thank you very much for the tip. Yeah, I remember the name. I remember the name now with the exclamation marks. I just didn't recognize it immediately because it cut it off on a different line. So I thought, friend, exclamation mark. And then NT, exclamation mark is back. I thought, wait, what? But yeah, we cut it. It did it over there, yeah. Thank you very much. Sharadise. Not on the LDS just yet. DLS. Yeah, it's fun. By the way, man, I wanted to ask you, you really got ghosts in your house? Well, according to some stories, yes. But you shouldn't pay too much credence to stories. Well, depends on the case. In this case, it's probably wise to not take them too seriously. Nah, exclamation mark NT exclamation mark is his username. Hiawatha MR. Maybe you heard of him. It does sound familiar, but I'm not entirely sure. And no, I don't mean because of the logo, the Hiawatha. I mean the thing. Yeah, it's the same. Right. Yeah. Okay, let's do the other track. There we go, connected. Right, so what's the next step? Well, the next step is to save, of course. Reader, as far as I have heard, there's only Ghost Lady, but I'm not too sure on that front. I'd have to investigate, do some snooping, see? But now I am aware that you will do some snooping, see? And so I can prepare for your snooping, see? See? Right, I'll just continue this along the side. Behind the ghost's back, see? Oh, you can't ever do anything behind the ghost's back. They always know that you're planning something. Without anyone, and I mean anyone knowing, see? Yes, indeed. Not sure if I want the telegraph line going up there as well, maybe. C? D. C. Yes, that's funny. Right, so now how should this road continue? I think I'll probably want a little bit of a larger road going along there as well. So let's go over here. Let's grab this road. And let's have it go just along the tracks like that. And then I want this road to kind of cut across there. Much sharper turn. And to kind of go alongside the edge of the woodland. That's wrong. Oh, no, it was right. Okay. And I'm doing this now so I know where to connect the little dirt road. And this dirt road, by the way, has been a long companion, because if you look at this, where it's coming from, it's been going alongside the track all this time. All this time it's going paralleling, crossover, connects up to this road, which goes all this way, going all the way back here, round these woods, back to where the yard is, crossover, and then this parallels the tracks, goes all the way past this thing, all the way over to here, and then all the way to here where I haven't modeled anything more yet. So you can go by road as well, from all the way over here, all the way along this bit, all the way over here. So there you go. Okay, I think I will have a little crossing here. Nothing fancy, just some crossbucks. And I don't just mean crossbucks, but I mean the railway thing. Oop, that's wrong. Look, if I apply it to the pylons, it just... That's a strange thing. Seeing the ground applied to the ground height applied to the pylons. Da-dum, da-dum, dum, da-dum, da-dum, dum, da-dum. Da-dum, dum, da-dum, da-dum. Da-dum, dum, da-dum, dum, Okay, like that. Yeah, I think I used a bit of a too big of a brush on this road here. I need to redo this bit, unfortunately. Right, now it's time to grab the crossbucks. Not the deer, the crossbucks. Actually, no, they're over here. Ah, I remembered. I need the 2 tracks one, of course. I'm not entirely sure how safe this is. If tractors go over this with a main line going this way, I'm sure it's fine. Oi, da, hihi. Se, ma, fa? Ma and fa are gender applatives in Romanian. I see. Ah, I see. So you'd say fa and ma Schelsen? They are kinda like pronouns. Well, that's great. Oh, right. So, like he and her? He and she? Kinda. Yeah. Ah. So, what does the whole sentence say ma fa mean? Does it mean like, are you a he or a she? Or are you male or female? Yay, my connection cut out again. Ha. Oh, well, then that's certainly cause for much celebration? I mean, you seem very happy about it, surprisingly. I know you're not serious. Aha, Shadows. I wonder if I can drive my Ural 4320, not the 55574112M, on this dirt road at full speed. You mean this dirt road? Also, I'd consider placing stop signs across crossroads. Adds a lot, and it's quite easy. Yeah, that's true. And yes, there's also on yes, there are also on dirt roads. In ATS, if ATS has taught me anything, well, it definitely taught me something. But yeah, yes, can confirm. And there was much rejoicing. Yes. Oh yes, the Ural 4320. No idea. Loved driving it in spin tires. But oh, I think I know what you mean now. Right. Okay. So now that we know roughly where the fields will go, actually, I want a little I want a little farmstead here. Just a little structure. I think I might grab the same one that I used back there. This one. Well, not necessarily farmstead, but a little farm building. Just out of here. Sort of like this. Obviously needs more work, but I think that's nice having a little building there. Also might be nice having a little gas station there. I think I might use the same model that I used, object that I used, where was it? Here. Right, so just kind of merging the two like this. Ah, no, that's sea fighting. Like, that's better. And now let's see. Actually, let's put a motel down. Don't think we've actually put one down on this map yet. Probably. No. Don't think so. Pool for motel. Perhaps. Maybe this one. The motel sign. Sure. This fellow, should I? Okay, let's have a look. Okay, yeah. And given how cheap and reliable compared to modern trucks it is, it's a jewel of Soviet engineering. Oh. Quite a bit of other Soviet engineering didn't really work that well. Although, I'm told that they did have some really quite nice space rockets. Looks quite sturdy. Like the guts, mutts. And what about the other one? That one? Yes! Exactly those! K72, the big yellow tractor? Well, not really truck, but... Oh, forgot the Corvette with its iconic turbo whine. Yes! Yes, like on Beetlebrook. Two of those turbos consist the boost array of my I forgot how to pronounce that. Regalia maybe. GT Rally Mod engine. The Corvette is quite fun to drive in spin tires, being articulated and all. Sure, it is K700, not K70, but yeah, the 70-0. But it's always deflocked. Oh yes, if Soviet knew something, it was how to get to space. I don't get how it works. The Soviet space shuttle was superior to the American one, and Saber 2. Additionally, they famously got the first man-made object into space. Yeah, you know the ball satellite with the spike, the antenna. You know the one I mean. I think I remember that. Yeah, and has no suspension. You mean you mean the Soviet space shuttle was superior to the American one too, and has no suspension. Trainz, what was it called? I forget. I keep thinking Hubble, but no, it's not Hubble. That's the Space Telescope, one of the ones. I forget. I'm not sure why, but I know. I can picture it. I know exactly the thing. I just forget what it's called. The first ever man-made satellite. You know, the ball one with the antennae, the 4 antennae at the back. So you bounce around in a cab on real rough terrain. And its steering wheel was on the right for some reason. It's like that RL2. I've seen videos. It is. Alright, Sputnik. Yes, Sputnik, definitely. I thought it was something with an S, but I couldn't put my finger on it. Mainly because I can't touch it really. It's not really touchable at the moment. Sputnik, yes, alright. Yeah, there's a picture to it. I know. Yeah, indeed. Right, so Starview Motel. No. Right, so I want this to kind of be. Let's see. So how would people want this to be seen? So I think probably having this in the middle would be the wisest choice. So having it centered, so that it attracts people and mods from both sides equally. Motel. One vacancy. Look, one vacancy. TV. Phones. Right, so I think that's nice down there. I think it's probably a good space. Although I'm not sure about whether I should use this sign for this one. I think it might. Not sure. I think the smaller motel sign might fit better here, because otherwise it would overshadow a lot of the other stuff. I think like this looks so much nicer. I mean, the red sign is still quite noticeable. I think this is better. 3.5 stars. Okay. I won't do too much detailing here yet because I'm not quite sure how I want this, well, what I want this to look like. This area as a whole. Put a little bit of grass around this sign. A little bit around here as well, just to kind of create this little driveway, if that's a word. Yes, I know it's a word. Kind of like that. Okay. Right, so now that we know a couple of things we want here, actually, should I do that? Should I? No, let's not do it yet. Maybe later. I was thinking about the station, but no, let's do this bit first. So I want this to be a field for cows. I think that's nice. Okay, what to do next? What to do? Well, I want you to be able to see the other line here. So I think I'm going to place more smaller trees along this bit, as to not obstruct the view that much. Oh, sorry. Maybe some of the shrub trees would look better here. Generally, Splinter's vehicles are based off real Soviet American vehicles. True. Oh, which ones are based off of American ones? The American Wilds DLC from Mud Runner ones. Mud Runner is technically... Oh, yeah, technically. Oh, right. I thought you meant OG Splinter's. But yes, that's true. It's technically a sequel to Splinter's. Yes. It did say Mud Runner, a Splinter's game. And Snow Runner is a sequel to Mud Runner. They changed it, but still, yeah. Snow Runner was actually meant to be called Mud Runner 2 at first. I even made my Regalia MG mod in Scrap Mechanic. Exactly. In SM, Scrap Mechanic, I can do it better than in Gmod since I don't have to be afraid of fucking up the collisions. You're missing an R there. Forking. Oh, right. Yeah, although if I recall correctly, you can enable no clip on objects in Gmod. With the tool gun? Not sure. I mean edit the original model. Oh, right. Yeah, I see. I think I want... Let's see where I can find that. This one. This is the shrub I want. Minus the Y. I see, but yeah. I thought it was deliberate. Deliberate, I tell ya. Yeah, these are shrubs, and maybe move them to the ground a bit. That's what I want. Yeah, not too many of them though. But I still want to be able to see trains going by there. Right, so what does this look like from here? I think that looks good. That's kind of the look I was going for. So you can still clearly see the tracks over there. So you can see trains going by there, you can clearly see the field or whatever's behind it. But it also doesn't look that just grassy, essentially. So you can still see through. That's the look I was going for. I'm glad I achieved it. And it only took the death of one ambassador and the self-respect of one Starfleet officer. If you know where that quote is from, which I'm sure all of you do. Oh, I just remembered. I was supposed to continue summarizing my latest sketch. Ah, yes, you're right. You're right. Geronimo Alonzi, shall I? Oh, yeah, definitely. First step through those police box doors? I think it went? Yeah. By the way, that melody is from a Doctor Who fan song. It's the quote song. It's a song, well, surprisingly, or some might argue unsurprisingly, made up of quotes from Doctor Who, and it's actually quite nice. Not even if you're not that interested in Doctor Who, just as a song. It's a really nice song. If you want to listen to it, it's on YouTube. It's by a channel called President Romana. Which, yes, that's a reference. That tree might be a bit too close to the power lines, yeah. Like that. So that's better. That fell over. It wouldn't touch him. Wouldn't touch him. Are you willing to bet your life on that? Because that's exactly what you're doing. Have you ever wondered what it's like to be wanderers in the fourth dimension? Yes. Should I Star Trek the motion picture? No. No. Because the death of an ambassador? What? No. Or at least one of them? No. The reference was to an episode of DS9, specifically the episode where the Romulans were dragged into the Dominion War by the Federation through falsified evidence. Yeah, with Garrick, where Garrick got Sisko to agree to falsifying a report, a Dominion record, where in the falsification, the Dominion were planning to invade the Romulan Star Empire after they've dealt with the Federation and the Klingons. Yeah? And then Garrick did that, and then that happened, and then we'll do that, and then they killed the guy who made the falsification. He died in a tragic accident, which, of course, was engineered by Garrick. And then the ambassador came, and that's where actually that thing comes from. I think that meme comes from. So strange saying that word. Comes from about it's a fake, yeah? Because the Romulan ambassador noticed that it was a fake, yeah? And that's where that comes from. So then the Romulan ambassador leaves on his way back to the Romulan Star Empire to report to the Federation's treacherous attempts at deception. And then his small craft, his shuttle, explodes. Leaves and explodes. I think it was an engine malfunction, of course. No, it wasn't. It was Garrick. It was sabotaged. Thing is that that's actually a really good episode, because Benjamin Sisko is so angry at Garrick that what the terrible things he's done. He's killed 2 people, and he shouldn't have even brought up the idea of falsifying the record and all the thing. And then Garrick responds with that, well, Benjamin Sisko was in on it, because Garrick never expected the forgery to work. He knew that it would likely be discovered, but the Romulan Star Empire don't know that. So, because the ambassador never returned. So, from their point of view, the ambassador went to DS9 to check out the reports to check out this supposed Dominion plan that was leaked for them to invade Roman Star Empire. So he goes there, and then on his return, he dies. His ship is sabotaged. It explodes. Now that, of course, leads the Dominion, the Roman Star Empire, sorry, to join the war, which is then a big contributing factor to how the Federation and the Alpha Quadrant won. And then when Cisco realizes that it's true that he was in on the thing from the beginning, the moment he agreed to falsifying that report. Also, it's not just those people. The agent that Garrick had, the contact in the Cardassian Union, who got that memory stick, an authentic memory stick, for the forgery to be put on, also got caught and killed. So, yeah. But when Cisco realizes that it only took when Cisco realizes that he had agreed to those things, and that if he's being honest, he never could have honestly thought that it would be as simple as, okay, we forge a report and that's it. Of course there would be complications. Of course there would be collateral damage. And then the interesting thing is that whole episode is in the form of a personal log. So it's all a flashback, basically. It starts out with him taking that report and saying that he's done terrible things and things like that. And in the end, it's like, when Garrick says, so was it worth it? It only took it took the death of a Romulan. It took the death of one Romulan ambassador and the self-respect of one Starfleet officer. Yeah? Even actually more people did die, but I'm not sure what the exact quote was. It's been many years since I've watched it. And then at the end of the episode, Cisco in his log says, but out of all these things, the thing that frightens him most is that he thinks that he will be able to live with that. Because it did get the Romulans in the war. It did help the Alpha Quadrant as a whole. And then, of course, in the end he says, computer, delete log. And then that's the end. Because, of course, he can't make a log of those things. Because if he does, then, well, he's just made a log about lying and cheating and get the Romulan Star Empire in a war that, yes, would likely come to them at some point, but way too soon, getting in there way too soon. It's actually a very good episode, I think. I find, at least. And yeah, that's where that comes from, it's a fake thing as well. Right. Shadows, those songs are by President Romano, right? Yes. Ah, looks great, mate. Shadows, oh, right, how could I have forgotten? Oh, XD. Shadows, I never knew. But I know you watched that episode as well. Not even sure if I heard about that meme. This? 1 second. Yes, exactly that. It's a fake, yeah. Exactly that. That is the picture of the Romulan ambassador. No idea. Is that it? Slavic Eagle says, guys, I am making American route too. I accidentally made Iceland instead. How? Did you... I mean, how? Oh, wait! Is it the Canadian one? The one in the snow you started? Is that the one you mean? Is that the one? Or is it a different one? Did you even... Or did you completely forget that route even existed? Like the Scottish one? XDDD. Ha! That's a message and a half. Nice. Iceland Railway? That would be an idea. Railroad. It's US after all. XD. Railroad, railway, same thing. True. XD. Ha ha! Just deleted the log. Of course. And that's how the episode ends. It's like, computer, delete log. And then it just goes black. Why make it then? Because of peace of mind. Actually talking about those things. Bringing those things out in the open, talking about them, even if it's going to be deleted again afterwards, does help. It can help, at least. Shays, this is turning out wonderfully. Wonderfully, marvelously, eh? Different one. Is it one I know about or not? Oh, right. Shard Eyes. Ah, Slavic Eagle. Right, so this looks nice. It'll look even better with grass. But the more important thing, I think you will all find, Shard Eyes wonderfully, marvelously. Psst, was that a reference or summit? Yes. To one of President Romana's songs about the shoes of the 8th Doctor in that movie, which I know seems oddly specific, but there's okay. So Doctor Who was the original series, original Doctor Who run, classic Doctor Who, took a long break after. Well, okay. So do you want me to explain that? Yes, no? Sure, of course I'll explain that. So, Doctor Who had been BBC's flagship series for a long time. And it had accumulated one of the first real fandoms of any TV series ever, because it was in the 60s. The early 60s. Even before Star Trek. And the thing is that even though it had accumulated such a large fandom, as time went on, in I think the 80s, in the 80s, science fiction, specifically science fiction fans, were, according to some very interesting documentaries I've watched, and even if you look at some of the interviews from with the head of BBC, sci-fi fans were seen as something embarrassing, like typical introverts, socially awkward, basically your typical toxic nerd image, that sort of thing. So the thing is that because of that, when the head of BBC changed, it was someone who really didn't like sci-fi. He openly said in interviews that he hates sci-fi. He doesn't like it, or he hates it. And that was also when Star Wars was out, and Star Trek the motion picture, and other shiny American imported sci-fi TV series and films, and E.T. as well. And then in an interview he said that, because he actually cancelled Doctor Who. Yeah, he cancelled it. Doctor Who was on a decline. It was on a decline, and then that's why they changed it from a Saturday night slot to, I think, a twice-a-week slot. I think on Wednesday and Tuesday, I think. Which actually put it on a slot at which soap operas aired, which then meant that show competed with them, and which meant that ratings got even worse. And then, yeah, basically it was a downhill decline, even though some of the later changes of Doctor Who did see a rise in numbers. The head of BBC headed out for Doctor Who for quite a while, because he said that it was embarrassment for the company and for Britain, because he said he watches if he looks at Star Wars and the special effects there, and he looks at E.T. and all those shiny things. I think also Buck Rogers was another thing, but I'm not sure. And then he looks at Doctor Who, and he sees some cardboard thing being pushed around on the floor, and that's supposed to scare kids, that it's an embarrassment, and that, it can't compete, get rid of it. Yeah? And even in an interview, I think it's by Room 101, like a game show thing where he was invited. They also showed some clips of episodes with some, admittedly, really quite bad visual effects. But the thing is that that's never really what Doctor Who is about. The special effects, that's wrong. That's never really what it's about. What Doctor Who is about is the stories. And the visual effects, it froze. It's fine. During saving. It did save completely, but then it just froze. It didn't finish anyway. So the thing is that Doctor Who was cancelled, and then there was an open letter where thousands of fans actually sent letters to the BBC saying, "No, we want it, we need it. It's a cultural icon. You can't just get rid of it. No, we love that. I mean that. No, it's because at that point it had already been a few decades old." And so the BBC said, "Okay, well, it needs to be rebooted. We need to change some things and contradicting information." But no, they didn't want to bring it back. So then, actually, a lot of the actors who so it was, however, kept alive due to magazines, a Doctor Who magazine, which published written stories, and then books were also published and written with the different versions of the Doctor and all that. And that kept it alive. And then also audio dramas with actually some of the original actors were also being made, which were unofficial at the start. So they actually didn't have a license to use the IP. But anyway, so yeah, that stuff. And then a lot of the actors, specifically I think Tom Baker, was really, really very supportive of the fans, and he did a lot of publicity things and conventions and meetings and to try to keep Doctor Who alive, and it went like that for a long, long time. But when the 30th anniversary got close, BBC knew that they have to do something for the 30th anniversary. They have to do something, yeah? So it was thought, okay, well, maybe we can do a mini-series. Maybe we can do something else. Because at this point, some kids who watched Doctor Who some kids who watched, people who watched Doctor Who as kids were now grown up. And some of them were really quite passionate about the show and the characters and wanted to revive it and be involved in Doctor Who. And there was one specific man, I'm not sure what his name was, I forget it, who was very passionate about that. And he had come to the BBC on many, many occasions with an idea for a new Doctor Who series, a new Doctor Who mini-series, or things like that. And each time it was shut down. Each time they didn't want to hear anything about it. But each time the head of BBC changed, he approached them again and again and again. And eventually, it paid off, because after a long back and forth, it was decided that, because at this point, the Doctor Who title, Doctor Who IP license, was already sold to a lot of other companies. And so they said, okay, well, we need to do something to please the fans for the 30th anniversary. So, okay, well, let's do a motion picture. Well, actually, let's do a series. And they went to America, to Hollywood. Say, okay, let's bring Doctor Who to the US. Let's exploit that potential fandom there as well, those potential fans. And originally it was supposed to be a miniseries, I think. But then they approached Universal Studios and a lot of other big ones as well. Originally, Steven Spielberg was supposed to direct that and to be involved with that. They wanted to get big names, and then there was a lot of back and forth with actors and creative choices and a lot of changes. And then say, okay, well, we can't do that. It'll be too expensive, because the studio heads then thought, okay, well, American viewers aren't really going to get that. They're not really going to enjoy it that much, so they didn't want to spend that much money. And then they said, okay, well, let's make a film. Let's make it a film then. And then they say, okay. But then instead, well, they went to 20th Century Fox, and then 20th Century Fox and Universal Studios put a lot of money in that, and Steven Spielberg wasn't involved with it anymore. And then all those things and scripting things, they said, okay, well, we need an American scriptwriter on this, because, well, it's for American audiences. But then the guy who originally came to the BBC with this was against that, because he thought, no, it has to be a British writer, because it's a British TV show, the British show, it has to be British. Then they got an original script which was really bad, because originally the series was supposed to be about the politics of Gallifrey. Yeah? The politics of Gallifrey? Come on. Which, by the way, is the Doctor's homeworld. And then... yeah, that was luckily thrown out, because a Doctor Who Bible was written by one of those writers, which is a document that outlined a lot of the lore, basically most of the lore, that future stuff should adhere to. That would have destroyed basically all of canon. I'm just glad that nowadays we know how important that canon is, and that we wouldn't get something like BBC themselves destroying all of canon. Sure, I'm so glad that that's a preposterous thought. Anyway, yeah, so luckily that was scrapped. And then said, okay, well, they had another writer, and then there was a collaboration, I think, between a British writer and an American writer. Meanwhile, the 30th anniversary was getting closer and closer and closer. And then eventually, it was decided to do a film with a Doctor Who film about the Master's return and a new Doctor and all those things. And eventually, they did put in a lot of continuity. And that's how we get the Doctor Who TV movie, the motion picture. And the thing is, there is a lot of continuity. For example, the handoff from the 7th Doctor to the 8th Doctor. Originally, they didn't want to have it, but then it was insisted that, oh no, we need to have that handoff to make it so that it is actually part of continuity. And then having a lot of references in there as well, and name drops also helps. And the story itself is actually, well, it's okay. The story is okay. It could definitely be better, but it could also be a lot worse. So, yeah, also I think, plus the 8th Doctor, who, in terms of movies, only played in that movie, and also one episode of the show, I think, where there was a regeneration. But anyway, getting carried away. So, that movie was made, and it's an okay movie, I'd say. It definitely has flaws. I think the biggest flaw is that it seems very set on having a lot of, for the time, typical American TV movie tropes. For example, that there has to be a love interest, a love plot. There has to be that plot. Or the thing about car chases, or just how the general structure is of it. You can tell that it's an American movie, not just because it's set in, I think, San Francisco, but it is an American movie, which does clash a bit with the Doctor Who theme, which is very typically British, and they did get a British actor, which, again, they had to fight quite hard for that, to get a British actor, and the actor was a great choice. Anyway, so, yeah. And that Doctor, the actor who played that Doctor, he did a lot of research on the character, and he chose to play the character in a similar vein to one of the older Doctors, who was really quite all over the place, quite silly, quite all over the place. And so in one of the scenes where he and his semi-companion who he meets is a surgeon, not nurse. No, it isn't. It is. I think she's a neuroscientist, neurosurgeon. So basically, the seventh Doctor, the previous one, just gets shot randomly. Then, of course, he's brought into the hospital. They try to revive him, but because he has two hearts, it doesn't work, and he regenerates in the morgue of all places. And then he kind of meets up with the surgeon who carried out the procedure. And she, of course, then ends up being the love interest. And it's actually quite nice because she is quite clever. That character is quite clever and I think fits quite well with that Doctor. And in one of the scenes where he's expositing, basically telling her about his Time Lord stuff and all of the things, which basically leads her to think that he's crazy. He's taking all this stuff and things, yes, and the world could end, and this is brilliant. These shoes, they're great, they fit perfectly. And then he runs off screen. Yeah? It's such a nice scream because she's in the moment. She's, oh, this is terrible, this is terrible. And it's, what? The shoes? You're talking about the shoes? Like, ugh, that whole thing. And that's such a funny scene. It's a good scene of the movie. And that is what's referenced in President Romana's song, the YouTube creator, in that song about these shoes fit perfectly, marvelously. Yeah? And that's where that comes from. So now that I've explained that thing, which you asked whether it was a reference to something, I think you now understand that yes, indeed, it was a reference to something. I trust that explanation is satisfactory. Psst, was that a reference to Summit? Yeah. Oh, yes. I wonder if I should make a cursed mud runner vehicles video. Well, why not? Unless the curse transfers over to the viewers or you. Feature. There's some pretty crazy stuff. What would you do in it? Like mods? I think I remember the vehicle called Dorothy. Yes, that's one of the most cursed vehicles ever made. There's a picture. Oh wait, is that octopus thing? Oh no, that's this other thing. Looks like a vehicle made for combat. Oh, did it anger a mad ghost or something? Can the curse be lifted? But yeah. In America, clean trucks with good ballast. In Romania, grass dirt 30 kilometers an hour. Well, yeah, but the thing is, in America, most of this, from all of the track network, I think the most of it, the highest percentage of the track, the speed limit of most of the tracks is, I think, 40 miles an hour, which equates to 64 kilometers an hour, I think. Wow, that's local railways in Romania. All right. Trainz, cardboard things? Yeah, in classic Doctor Who, there was quite a lot of cardboard stuff. Which ones? Did trains crash? What happened? All right. By the way, can I continue to summary of my last sketch? I did say I'll continue tonight. Yes, I said previously. Go ahead. Yes, looking forward to it. Go ahead. Where was I? Yes. Trainz, yeah, I'm really glad Doctor Who's canon never got horribly destroyed. So glad. Oh wait. Yeah, and the thing is, that movie was an okay. It was a higher success in the UK than it was in America, which of course wasn't great since most of the money came from American studios, which then meant that, of course, any future plans for series, because originally that was supposed to be kind of an intro for a new series. If the movie did well in America, they were going to do a new TV series in America of Doctor Who. But because it really didn't do well in America at all, that got scrapped. However, well, I think that's when Big Finish started. Right, I think it was after the movie. It's confusing. Big Finish, anyway, they got a license from the BBC to actually do proper Doctor Who audio plays, which actually they're continuing to this day, and they're supposed to be really, really good. I haven't heard any of them yet, but they're supposed to be really, really, really good. And they've actually done a lot of the 8th Doctor as well, and given him a proper run, basically. They also gave the 6th Doctor a proper run, which he never really got, because that's a whole nother thing about the 6th Doctor, because it's a mix of bad writing and Doctor Who not really doing very well, and very quite a few busybodies, elderly busybodies, being very overly protective of children and saying that, oh no, TV shows that are so violent, like Doctor Who is so violent, that's what's corrupting children. No, Doctor Who is evil. It's that whole thing. Yeah? Or yeah, even though, of course, it's important to learn about the world, and Doctor Who wasn't that violent. But anyway, which is why they had to cut back a lot on monsters and danger, which then also made viewership drop, and then that got Doctor Who in a spiral of, well, some might say a downward spiral, definitely a downward spiral. And then when the Sixth Doctor came about, I haven't seen that yet, but when that came about, there was something, his character wasn't apparently as immediately likable as the other ones, which was on purpose, but then of course that led to viewership drops combined with bad script writing. It wasn't great. And then that led to him having to be replaced very, very soon. The thing is, he loved that role. That actor, I think it was Colin Baker, loved that role. He was so thrilled to be able to play that role of his childhood hero, and then he got sacked, he got fired by a phone call, nevertheless. So yeah, that wasn't great. However, with Big Finish, he's got so many stories. They actually got the original actor to voice that. So yeah, he got so many stories there so that the audience can get used to the character and can explore the depth of the character more and have the character develop and become more likable and these things. So it is good that the character has gained some sort of what's the word? Not comeuppance. Some sort of justice. I guess the best word for it. Justice. Yeah. Right. The movie's Doctor was the 8th Doctor. True. But he didn't moment? What do you mean? But I'm not sure what you mean. Sure, yes indeed. It was explained quite clearly, and my understandance is far greater than that which I had beforehand. Thank you kindly. Trainz, octopus thing was one of the first mods for SnowRunner from last year. What do you mean, Reader? You gotta watch Hunt Down Free Man to understand it. Run, buddy, run. That is really sad. The Colin Baker bit must have been devastating. Yeah. I did mean I was explained. Oh, right, I see. Oh, you were explained the thing. Yeah, because I think I watched an interview of him. It's a fairly recent interview, I think. He was now an old man. And he said how much he loved that role. But the thing is, he was offered the part to play a guard in the previous Doctor's run, to play a guard. And originally the actor did not want to accept that offer because the BBC had said that they will not hire any actors who had previously been part of Doctor Who, who played a role of Doctor Who, and he didn't want to forfeit his chance of being offered the role. Yeah? Because it was so important to him. But then his agent convinced him, basically said, what are the chances of they hiring you? This way you can be part of it at least. So he said, okay, and he played that role. And the thing is, he played that role so well that the director had to tell him that the show is called Doctor Who, not Guard something. And he needs to give the Doctor more of the stage. So then he did that, and then for the next run, for some reason, I don't remember exactly why, but they got back to that actor, they saw his performance there and how well he owned the stage. And at this point, the actor was kind of typecast as a bad guy. Yeah? In all the stuff he'd been in, he was a villain, a bad guy. So then they offered him that role. And that was, in the interview, you can see how the old actor's face just beams with joy as he remembers when he was offered that role and how emphatically he agreed that a dream come true, essentially. Because this, not only was this a role to escape the typecasting of being a bad guy, but it was also the role. It wasn't only a way of escaping typecasting, it wasn't just the biggest role in British TV ever, but it was also a chance to fulfill his personal dream of playing the character of his childhood hero, yeah? And he wanted to play it his way. He wanted to play that character in a new way, a way that was a bit rougher than the older Doctors, because he didn't just want to imitate what had come before, he wanted to make his own thing and develop the character over time, which then meant that the Doctor was quite rough. He was actually told that this time, through regeneration, the Doctor was supposed to be almost maddened by it, which then should wear off over time for him to become more likable. And so he threw himself in that role. I didn't watch it yet, but there were little clips inserted, and yeah, you can tell he threw himself in that role. And the sad thing is that, for one thing, the writing wasn't great. They had the Doctor act in these ways, these kind of mad ways, without the audience having been able to trust the character yet. That's one thing, but that wouldn't have been so bad. The other thing is that apparently the first story didn't really focus on the Doctor's regeneration. It was just some other story with the Doctor's regeneration as a kind of side plot thing, which means that wasn't really even explored. It was just like, okay, here's the new Doctor, this is the new Doctor. Oh, and now this is the story. It's like, okay, that's done, here's the story. Without the audience being able to trust that new character, who, additionally, has been known in the public eye for playing a bad guy. Yeah? So you've got an actor who's been known for basically only playing bad guys, acting in a mad way, in addition to the audience's old trusted Doctor they knew just being gone, replaced by this guy, and that the story doesn't even focus on. So it's just like, okay, this is how it is now, and that's it. And then even the first episode of that, the last line that they made him say was, I think it was something like, in that episode, in the first episode, is, whether you like it or not, I'm the Doctor. Yeah? That's the last line that he says, basically at the camera. So, just through that, it was basically... I mean, and the thing is that the actor was so happy, so glad, so thankful that he was given a chance to play that part, that it's really quite sad that it turned out that way, that only after a couple of seasons he was replaced, he was fired. So, yeah. However, in Big Finish, he got to reprise his role and bring justice to it, and show everybody how good of an actor he is and how good his iteration of that Doctor is. Although I haven't seen it yet, but that's what a lot of people say. So a lot of Doctor Who fans say. So you can probably put some amount of trust in that. So, yeah. It also didn't help that the guy who was showrunner for Doctor Who at that time wanted to get away from the show for many, many years, but BBC wouldn't let him move on, so he was kind of stuck with that show, forced to do it, essentially. And he also didn't like the actor very much. So, whether it's deliberate or accidental, that is definitely also a thing that maybe there was sabotage in that. Yeah, and also, of course, the showrunners, not the showrunners, the BBC, heads of BBC, noticing that Doctor Who is in a downwards decline and not really liking sci-fi as a whole, because that was the trend back then. Yeah. In that interview with the old Colin Baker, the actor, he said that when he got that phone call, that basically saying, "We don't like you, get out," being fired, from that character was just so devastating to him, and that he was surprised that he could act at all after that. However, the story does have a happy ending, so that's good. That's really sad. Read Colin Baker a bit. Must have been devastating. I did mean I was explained. I was explained very clearly. Oh, it was explained to me very clearly. So I was explained. Yeah, I see. Yeah, I see. Wow. Oh, right. Wow. Oh, yikes. And there's V'ger's story continues. So, the car stops in front of the main door. Lady Anna steps out of the car. A follows her. A being the main character. The bootlet opens and A takes his bags. He then follows Lady Anna to the front door. Although the external Victorian style, the interior of the Willows mansion was very modern. Amelia, he's here, Lady Anna shouts. A girl with short, stuffy black hair slides down the rails of the stairs of the main hall. You could see she was Lady Anna's daughter. Ah. Oh, right, V'ger, interesting. Yeah, a bunch of unfortunate events tied together. Colin Baker. Yeah, that's him. Colin Baker. Indeed. Also, one other thing was that... One other important thing... Actually, I'll say it after I've read the chat a bit. So, like Mary Poppins style? Slides down the rails of the stairs. No, she slid up them. But they're also down, yeah, you're right. This is my daughter, Amelia. I presume you are A? Nice to meet you, says the girl with excitement in her voice. Ah, nice. True, Travis. Yeah, so, one other important thing is, if you look up 6th Doctor, one thing that will immediately strike you is his outfit. Previously, up to that point, all of the Doctor's outfits, their iconic outfits, were all... well, they were outfits, basically. Some of them were a bit pretentious, others were more hobo-ish, a little bit. A bit more, some of them were bohemian. But this outfit, I mean, just look at it. Look at that outfit. It's a costume. It's not an outfit. It's a costume. And if you look at the trend, and if you look, not just that, not just his face, not just his face, his entire outfit, from the olive green shoes to the striped yellow trousers to the green pocket watch chains to his coat. If you look at all that, and then imagine that in contrast to the previous Doctor, the 5th one, with his cricket jacket, like in beige and slight orange lining. Yeah? If you imagine that, and that combined with how the character was perceived by the audience on the first viewing of the character, the first taste of the character, then it must have seemed at the time like BBC were they just didn't have any respect for the character, basically. Yeah, that outfit. I mean, I haven't seen it, so maybe it fits really well. I mean, maybe it fits really well with the character. But still, if you imagine it only knowing Doctor Who for like that, and being worried because an actor who's a baddie has been cast, and then all the other things, and you see him, and then he acts like a madman, and then all the other things combined, it's basically doomed. Basically doomed. Anyway. True. Alright, V'ger. Him looks a bit clown-like. This? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that is it. Right. Trainz, lovely spline work. Ah, thank you very much. I'm known for my lovely spline work. All throughout the lands. Anyway. What do I need? I need a fence. A fence! A fence! A kingdom for a fence! No, sorry. My kingdom has fences? What? Oh, wait, no, I'm not giving it away. No, no, I'm rescinding the offer. Let's just grab one of those fences instead. Need a bit of water, sorry. My daughter has similar interests to you. That's why I said you will get along. That's why I said you two will get along just fine. Well, you know what they say, ma'am. Two minds can think alike. I see. And if I remember correctly, you said he was there on an exchange program, if I remember correctly? Yeah, right. Yeah. I remember now completely. It's fine. I know. Actually, it might be nice if having the access road to the radio tower be through the field, so through the kind of pasture. So then I can use that as the gate. That might be quite an interesting thing that breaks the mold a bit. I know you usually wash mold off, but in this case I think we should settle for breaking it. Sure, let's have the fence go up this hill and then down the other side. I think that's probably far enough. Now, I want the fence to... Actually, do I? Good point. No, I don't. I don't want the fence to go all the way there. Because I will need an access road here to access fields that are, well, back there. That's important. For the longest time, I didn't used to put access roads at all. So I just have fields that weren't really accessible at all, which didn't really look that realistic. But back then I knew that they didn't look that realistic, but I couldn't really put my finger on it. But now, of course, with more experience, I'm aware of these things. Let's just get the gate. Need two of them, maybe three even, not sure. One there. Actually, you know what? No, I want to use the open one here. I do like putting animal escapes on my map, on my maps. Let's see, I think we should probably have another one over here, because that's just more easily accessible by road. You would have one here if the main road's over here. Okay, now I need I need the door texture from over here. That was the wrong one. This one. That's okay. I think I need a... yeah, let's add a little bit here. Maybe just make this a little bit less strong. Just by dabbing the other texture over it again. Ah, that looks better. Right. I shall read that very shortly. Very shortly indeed. I think it's fine just putting the spline just straight along this without crisscrossing it here, because it's not that close to the tracks and the trees are between it anyway, so I think that should be fine. I might need to do a bit more work here. Just a little bit more detail work, just so it's not that straight of a line. Just going down this way. What does that look like? Yeah, it's just a straight line. No, I need a little bit more variation here. Just kind of crisscrossing back and forth like this a little bit. What does that look like? I think that should look better. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, now just look at the other side, then I'll read that thing. The text message. Yeah, this also needs a little bit of widening in some areas. A little bit of work. I noticed that it's okay having it like just one line back here, and then I go over and make everything not be just one line, because I know that if I look at it I will see that, oh, that isn't as good as it could be. Nah, this little area needs a bit more. Just so like that. Yeah, that's better. Save. Right, shadows. This reminds me of the old BeamNG Drive menu from the pre-alpha, I believe. Okay. Huh. Does look a little similar. Not the best picture, but you get the picture. Not the best picture, but you get the picture. There. A replies, I'm looking forward to our collaboration, eh? Oh wait, A replies, I'm looking forward to our collaboration, eh? A looks at Lady Anna, who was looking at her hand watch. I think you mean... Do you mean wristwatch or pocket watch? Oh, bloody hell, look at the time. I gotta get to work, she suddenly exclaims. Amelia, you take A from here. Show him where he will be staying and around the house. Lady Anna then turns to A. Sorry, A, but I really gotta go get ready for work. We'll talk tomorrow. I'm off work. We'll talk tomorrow. I'm off work. Oh, I see. Interesting. At first I read that as A looks at Lady Anna, who was looking at her sandwich. Who was looking at her sandwich. But yes, moo XD, yeah, should I? Lady Anna then rushes up the stairs to her bedroom, leaving A with Amelia. Well, follow me. Amelia goes up the stairs and A follows her. The corridor to the left had many doors, 10 to be precise, 5 on each side. One could be identified as Lady Anna's room, the next to the door to Lady Anna's room was a decorated black door, which could be identified as Amelia's room. Ah. You know, one thing is when designing rooms like this, it's important, houses like this, big structures, important to also include things like bathrooms, cupboards, things like that. Because which is, I think, a trap that I just remembered I've had a conversation about this before today. No, not before today, but before within today. That's actually a thing that a lot of game designers actually do. Is when they make a house, they only put a few rooms, like one bedroom, one dining room, a kid's room maybe. They don't put bathrooms in. A lot of the time, they don't put bathrooms in. Don't put maybe another bedroom in, or other rooms, just other stuff. Like a living room, or, well, it's hard to think of. You think, oh, what does the house have? Oh, it has these things, and that's what you put in. But, yeah. Interesting. Right, so... Actually, no, I didn't want to do that. I want to put cows in. Come on. Cowmon. Right, and then of course, this cow, who's just kind of found the exit, and is now calling the other cows over, so that they can escape. Let's make sure it's not in the ground. That. Actually, should I put that old cow herd on there as well? Nah, that doesn't look good. I need a sort of boundary. Just sort of along here. Right, now I want to finish the textures here, and then we'll see. We'll do. So I may also want to have some more of those trees in here. Actually, that was wrong. Shouldn't do that like that. Should more like this. And that looks better. Right, so I want a couple of these trees. Just sort of dotted around the place, a couple of them, not many, just a few. Just so that, well, for one thing, it doesn't look as bland. Secondly, so that the cows also have a bit of shade, really. That's important. I'll just add a little bit of the longer grass texture underneath them. Just kind of make it look a bit better. More like they're actually supposed to be here. Oh, underneath the pylons as well, of course. Especially notable with lower loading levels. So it's further away. There we go. Am I happy with that? Not completely. Not completely. I'll need to do a little bit more work. I think I need some ferns. I'll just get the texture from over here. Also get the model from over here, like the object, I mean. And back over to this place. Let's just kind of paint this over here. We're just down here where it's kind of the wet bit of it, I guess. Because that's where the forest is the closest, so it's got the most shade, also from the other trees. I mean, that already looks much better. Right, so now I need to put down the spline as well. I think I was using the same spline as before. This one. Yeah, I like that. I mean, that just adds so much to the scene, I think. It makes it feel so much more real. Maybe do with a few flowers as well. Not cemetery potted flowers, please. Oh, wait, I want to see. No, I want to see which ones had the bee sound effect. 1 second. Oops. Ah, listen to it! It was the group that had the bee sound effect. It is still here. They didn't remove it. See? Aw, I'm so happy. So happy about that. Yes, I know they're not that noticeable, but then again, they're not supposed to be, really. It's just a little ferny wet bit. Just a little ferny wet bit after, well, behind some trees on a field. Not really supposed to notice it. Just kind of pass by. And if you do notice it, then there's a nice surprise waiting for you. That's a bit too close. Needs to move back a bit. I also need some of these, obviously. Obviously, I need some of these flowers as well. Not as many, because these are quite noticeable. These ones as well, these ones. These are the ones that were on the texture, as meshes on the texture. That feature doesn't work anymore, I think, but... Well, it might, I'm not sure. And the yellow flower too, of course, which to me always looks like a bit like a Löwenzahn, although not quite. Just putting all the nice old flowers down now. But that is enough. Oh, we've gone past the time already. Save. Hopefully it won't crash again. No, it didn't. It didn't. Right, so now, I mean, we could just do this as the thumbnail. Might be nice. Or maybe from the other side. That might be nicer. Try it like this. Try zooming in as well. Maybe kind of just having it, well, a bit like this maybe. Kind of having it, no, that's too much. No, it's better. It's better like this. That might be the thumbnail. There we go. How nice. How nice? The answer is very nice. Oh, hopefully it won't. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I'll leave you with this image as I'm reading chat. Trainz, where would the bathrooms be located in a children's nursery? Context from before today. Well, before today, they would be located next door. However, given the new guidelines, shall we say, they all have to be now moved so that there's at least one broom cupboard between them. Trainz, thumbnail. Oh, I've got one. No, I've got two. Look at that, I've got two. Moo moo, oi, food, and exit, come here. Yeah. So, did you all have a nice day today? Yeah, I did. For the most part. Asking Slavic Eagle, Vitra, Shad Eyes. Shad Eyes, so nice. Yeah, it's important for the cows to have shades. Yes, shades. Amelia stops. Every time I read Amelia, I think of Amelia Pond. Always. That's forever ingrained. Forever connected, linked. Well, maybe not forever, but for quite a long time. Amelia stops at a door just across her room's door. The door opens to a really modern-looking guest bathroom. Oh, there you go. There's a bathroom. How nice. This will be your room for the duration of the stay. Make yourself at home. I will. By the way, where is the bathroom? Oh, bedroom! I read it. Oh, that was so funny. The door opens to a really modern-looking guest bathroom. This will be your room for the duration of your stay. Make yourself at home. I was thinking, wait, no, that's a bit weird. It was because we've been talking about bathrooms before. I read that as bathroom. No, here's your guest bedroom, modern guest bedroom. This will be your room for the duration of the stay. I was thinking, oh wait, is this a comedy? Is it going to be like, he says, oh, well, thank you very much. Where's the bed? And then she looks in and says, oh, no, sorry, there's the bathroom. No, sorry, this next door, that's your room. You're not seeing the bathroom. But no, it was just my mistake. I will. By the way, where is the bathroom? Yeah, that's where I caught on. Something wasn't right. It's the third door on the right of the corridor we were in. On the left is the wardrobe. Right then. No, left. No, not right, left. Because on the third door on the right, right, it's the third door on the right of the corridor we're in. On the left is the wardrobe. Right then. I'll leave you to unpack. Meet me in the cinema room downstairs when you're done. Ah, cinema room. Where was I? There we go. Cow shades, yes. I see. Cinema room. Interesting. Hey, you've just picked that fern asset from the damp ferny bit. I never have, yeah. That looks great. Should I search for sage and add those two? Maybe. We'll see. This? Sage? No. Surely not. Plant, sagebush. Ah, these ones. Well, no, they're too big. Look at that. They're just too big here. Although, well, what would that look like? You mean this? Yeah, I guess that could look okay. Yeah, that looks good, I think. It looks a bit dry, but that kind of fits, actually. Although it does cover up a bit of the flowers. Actually, no, I like it. Could retake this thumbnail picture. And... wait, what? Oh, not sage. Sedge. This thing? Ah, these ones. Ah, I see. No. These aren't... Nah. It's not that wet. The sage adds quite a bit. No? Da, da, dun, 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 dun. Oh, maybe this could also be nice as a thumbnail. You know what? I'll take... I'll take another screenshot like this, just in case. Yes, him. And then I'll put the camera all the way down here, just so it's a bit more like you're actually walking along this path. Actually, I'll zoom in all the way. That's more... I mean, just imagine it. Just imagine you've gotten off the station at the station back there. Now you're going for a nice walk in the in nature and just walking along the road, and you can see, well, looking over there as you're walking and things. You can hear a train roar past. You can just glimpse it through the trees, and you're walking a bit more. Oh, what is that? That's a strange shrub. What is that? Huh? I do not know what this is. You get close, and then it licks your face. It's, oh, it's a cow. And then you continue, and then you're just, oh wait, I need to go back there. Okay, so either climb over this bit or push past the cow. So, okay, well, let's climb over this bit. And then it's like, well, that worked well. Apply bandage, and then continue up this bit, walking through the grass, which, of course, there are spider webs everywhere, so you have to kind of clean those off afterwards. So kind of clean off the spider webs, and then you get going. Because you, intrepid explorer, want to make it all the way up to this viewpoint. Have a nice view of all the scenery along there. And on your way, you meet nice Easter egg in the form of deer. Yes, I'm very pleased with this area. You can see from here as well, it looks so much better now that there's something back there, not just normal grass. Although this could also be a potentially good thumbnail, I'd say. Of course, I still haven't done any signaling for this bit. Right. Oh, we've got 18 minutes past now. It has doubled from when I first said it. I'm sorry. Right. First was sedge, not sage. This flower lavender. Heart, 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 heart. We need those. Yay. Yeah, it was a good day. Sorry for late response. Slip Eagle. Good to hear, and no worries. At that moment, Lady Anna rushes out of her bedroom, bumping into Amelia. Hey, Mum, I left A to unpack his stuff. I told him to meet me in the usual house hangout spot. Good. Let him get comfortable. But when will you get to testing him? Oh, I see. He's secretly moved in with vampires. Quiet like to Amelia. Seems quite sinister. Also, the thing about the usual house hangout spot, I mean, maybe that could be polished a little bit. I don't know what about it, but it sounds a little bit clunky. Maybe it's because it's not originally in English. That's probably a big reason for it. Unless it is originally in English. I got stuck designing fishing company, lol. Okay. Alright. I don't know, Mum. I'm just gonna cement our collaboration and wait for the right opportunity. Yeah, definitely sinister there. Sure is. Yeah, I don't think the texture works anymore. Well, the texture does, but the things that don't appear anymore. Shrub, G-R-N-D, was it? I don't know. Something like that. Shadow is lovely. Make it foggy, though? Maybe, but not for this time. Yes. I always like it when people in chat say something in a very unique way. It's like, yes. Like you just did. Yes. Like that. Almost sung in a way. A overheard the conversation, but didn't pay much attention. By the way, side note, A had arrived about 2 weeks before Christmas, so it was pretty cold outside. Ah. Cont meaning continued. Oh, sorry. Did I miss something? But yeah. Alright, broom cupboard. Ha! Broom cupboard! Broom closet, I know. XD, that is bedroom! XD. The door opens to a really modern looking bathroom. This will be your home for the duration of your stay. Yeah. XD. Ah! Trainz, I think you really are a bit tired today. Oh, what gives it away? Yes. Now we've got it. What? No. Oh well. Sedge. Sedge. Sedge, yeah. Sedge to you too. So present day. I know them. Apply bandage. XD. Yeah. Well, you did climb over the wire. What's it called? What's it called? With the forget the word. You know what I mean. The fence out of the wire with the spikes. That's right there. What's it called? Come on. Barbed wire, of course. I thought spiked wire? No, it's not spiked wire. It's barbs, because barbs are very similar to spikes. So. Right. Say STD at appetite. Okay, apply bandage and spider webs. Goodness, what a trip! Vampires. XD, but yeah, not vampires this time. Yeah, but noted. I'm lucky it's a Word document. Ah. Yeah. Sedge, Sauergraswechsel / Ridge, Riedgewächs, of course, Riedgewächs. Scheiß. Barbed wire, yes, barbed wire. Oi, sure. Right, so with that, thank you all very much for watching indeed. And yeah, I'll quit Trainz now. Let's just save again. I'm happy with our progress today. Hehe was referring to the song Yes. That's why I repeated it after tagging yeah. Oh, I see. But yes, noted the house hangout spot sequence polish. I see. Well, it's most things need a bit of polish once you've done them the first time. Some things you have to do then second time. Some things you have to redo the second time completely, and then sometimes you says, oh, well, maybe do this third time, and then, well, anyway. Don't know why. It's fine. It was a great live stream. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Lee. I'll continue tomorrow. It's a bit more left. Oh, I'm looking forward to it. Nice story. Tomorrow on my stream. Yes. Oh, he didn't mean to scare you. I can do that. I'll be looking forward. Yeah, me too. Forgot it's Sunday tomorrow. Yeah, sometimes that happens. Well, yeah, thank you very much for sharing your story. It was quite fun to read. And thank you all very much for watching, basically. People watching this archived or live, doesn't matter. And just shout out and then we'll end. So, as Kango Fango has already stated, so kindly, he is streaming tomorrow on Sunday. Streams map development in OMZ2 and Trainz, as well as driving in truck simulators and train simulator. And yeah, Also, if you'd like to have a look at some maps on the DLS for Trainz, I would suggest having a look at Central Europe and Cornish Railways. And yeah, that's it, basically. So, right. Ah, yes. Bye. See ya. Love you stream. Thank you for the stream and shout out. Carrot Pharaoh. No, not Carrot Pharaoh. Kango Fango. Carrot Pharaoh. Come on. Yeah, so yes, thanks. I recommended those recommendations as well. Good. Thank you all very much for watching. I like this stream. It was fun. 5 people watching still, according to Twitch there. So this stream will be archived. So I'm sure you'll know by now. And bye. It looks like I could either be moving my hand really fast right now or quite slowly. And the answer is I'm moving it quite slowly. If I move it very fast, it kind of looks a bit similar. Anyway, bye.